I'm going to give you a brief overview of what I've learned in the 3-day workshop I've been taking, which focuses on supporting English language learners under the new standards with a focus on argumentation to create powerful learning for students. One of the first things we focused on was what the structure of an argument looked like. First, a student must make a claim or an opinion, and you must ask, what do you think? So they must make an opinion about something that you are learning or studying. Then they need to give evidence for the claim. And one valuable way to do this is to ask questions. What do you think? What makes you think that? What makes you think this claim right here? And then the third piece to that is providing reasoning for your claim. How do you know that this information supports your claim? So the first thing you start out with is the structure. This is how you state your opinion, and then in order to back up that opinion, you need to give evidence, and then you need to give reasoning for your claim and for your evidence. This, we read and talked about the benefits of using argumentation to teach concepts in the classroom. And then in a few moments, you will see some posters that other teachers in the workshop created based on some readings that we did. The other thing that we did was we took what we'd learned and then we designed a lesson plan. For example, my group took a Newsella article titled "Many Kids Eat Breakfast in Class," and it was an argumentative piece basically stating that some people believed students should eat breakfast in class, and then others stating that they believed students should not eat breakfast in class. We started out by introducing these two parts of the structure of an argument. First, we talked about making a claim. What does it mean to make a claim and to state your opinion? What does it mean to have an argument? Does it mean to have an argument with someone who disagrees with your claim or your opinion? And then how do you find evidence for your opinion? So then we had the students go back and highlight whatever opinion they chose to have on the topic and highlight evidence from the article. Then we focused on the language that they would be using in the article, as well as the structure for how they were going to make their evidence or support their claim. So here we have the two options they could choose from. Why should kids eat breakfast during class? Or why shouldn't kids eat breakfast during class? So they made their claim, they picked one of these two claims, and then they found their evidence in the article. And then at the end, they had to write, "I think," and then their claim, and then they had to use particular language. So this lesson we focused on linking words, which we gave them 3 different options, but all the students chose because that is a good linking word to use when stating your opinion and then giving your reason for that. And so at the bottom, that's where they used their pieces of evidence to state their claim. And then at the end, we used a tool that we had learned about in our workshop called the Argumentation Analysis Tool. So the first thing you do is you look at Dimension 1, did the student make their claim? Dimension 2 is, did the student provide support for the claim? And then Dimension 3, did the student use language to convey key relationships among the ideas? Okay, and that language standard is in ELPA and is in the ELP standards 9 and 10. And then we looked at how they met those dimensions. Did they clearly demonstrate that dimension? Did they partially demonstrate the dimension? Did they begin to demonstrate the dimension? Or did they not demonstrate that dimension? And then we can go back and look for what we need to work on with our students. We found that one of the key things that we needed to work on was making sure that everyone used that language in the sentence that they created based on the evidence that they came up with. Another group used literature, some fictional literature, to also work on argumentation. In this book, a lot of the animals are trying to convince or persuade a man not to chop down the tree. And so they focused on the argument that the tree shouldn't be chopped down using evidence from the text that the animals gave. So I think oftentimes we forget that when we're making an argument, we can use fictional stories in order to portray that. So I hope you learned something today, and I really enjoyed this workshop a lot. I'm going to be using especially the structure of an argument and the argumentation analysis tool in my classroom, and hopefully I'll be able to use it during some co-teaching.